Celestia, or the TIA token, has been one of the worst performers in the last week. Is this the potential opportunity to buy the dip, or is the rally over? We're going to look at data that most people are not looking at. This is the crash I'm talking about. We are down more than 18%. The first time we talked about Celestia on this channel though was when the price was at $3.82. Now it's at $15. So if you want to be early next time, maybe you should be following channels like this. Now what's happening here? Did the team stop working on the project? The answer is of course no. On GitHub, we see a code update just 1 hour ago, another one 2 hours ago, 4 hours ago. There's still more than enough programmer activity. The social metrics also look solid. The Twitter following, for example, grew by more than 10% since beginning of this year alone. Now, Celestia was one of the best performers in this bull run, and one macro factor isn't turning too bullish recently. Something is turning around. I'm talking about the stablecoin market cap. Have a look at this. This is the stablecoin market cap of DAI and Tether and USDC and BUSD, all combined since beginning of 2022. There are two major events indicated here by these vertical lines. The first one was the implosion of Terra Luna of the UST stablecoin of the Anchor protocol. With Terra Luna imploding, the stablecoin market cap went down. Crypto as a whole started to shrink. Now this then turned around at the beginning of October of last year. And I believe that beginning of October of last year was the starting point for a lot of altcoin rallies. Because what are stablecoins actually been used for? They're mainly used for altcoin speculation, right? You deposit your fiat into a centralized exchange like Binance. Binance then sends that fiat over to Tether, and Tether then prints the token for you to swap against your stablecoin, Tether versus stablecoin. So the more money we see flowing into centralized exchanges, the more stablecoins are being generated and the higher this chart goes. And when it doesn't grow that much anymore, probably altcoin speculation is going down. And here's that potential problem. We don't yet have real confirmation, but look at this. In the last 10 days, this did not go up anymore. This is a chart with relatively low volatility. And so if people are taking profit, if people aren't depositing fiat into centralized exchanges anymore, then of course the tokens that made most gains are also seeing most of the sell pressure now. This chart here is super important. If we don't see this suddenly spiking up again, then the whole crypto market might be turning around for a while. I always like to look at relative valuations to other cryptocurrencies as well. Because normally, why do we get into an altcoin? It's to outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? If we just want crypto exposure, we can simply buy Bitcoin or Ethereum. But by buying an altcoin, we take on more risk. We want to get more return. Now, it's more common to compare an altcoin valuation to Bitcoin than it is to Ethereum, but I think that's actually a mistake. I think it's better to look at altcoins relative to Ethereum. And here's why. What we've got over here is a correlation matrix. 1 means perfect correlation, 0 means no correlation, -0 means negative correlation. Now look at those altcoins over here and check their correlation to Bitcoin. It tends to be positive. But look at the altcoin correlation relative to Ethereum. It tends to be higher, right? The numbers here on the second column, they tend to be higher than on the first column. In other words, there are more price commonalities, more commonalities in the price between Ethereum and the altcoins than between Bitcoin and the altcoins. And again, that makes sense because a lot of altcoin tokens are traded against Ethereum. So in order to distill now the idiosyncratic movements of the altcoin, we want to look at this relative to ETH and not relative to Bitcoin. And what we've got over here is TIA divided by ETH since October of last year, since the stablecoin market cap started to increase. And yes, the outperformance of Celestia was nice, more than 300%. And yes, just from a TA perspective, this does look like a nice buying opportunity. The potential upside versus Ethereum is easily above 20%. But in order for this to happen, I think this number here, the stablecoin market cap, has to go up as well. Celestia has to be fueled by the general market. I've talked about Celestia several times on this channel, and I've talked about the fundamentals as well. I want to talk about one data point that's new, and that's this page over here. This is the open job positions for Celestia, and Celestia is currently looking for a CFO, a remote position, CFO, Chief Financial Officer. I'm not sure what happened to the current CFO. The rest of the management looks very intact. CEO of Celestia has been with the company more than 4 years. years. The CTO has been with Celestia also more than 4 years. The Chief Research Officer came 3 months later. And the COO has been with Celestia for almost 3 years and had been a co-founder of Harmony. I've already talked about this in prior videos, but I want to keep mentioning this again. There will be a huge unlock of Celestia tokens in October of this year. That's when the early backers, the early investors, and the core team gets a lot of allocation. Will they sell directly on that day? Nobody knows. Probably not. But still, it's an important data point to keep in mind. If it's the first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. There's also a free Telegram. Link is down below.